Hi guys, welcome back to Tech Corner. My name's Picasso, and today I'm going to be talking about the Neumann U87 AI. This bad boy here. The Neumann U87 is probably one of the most prolific microphones in the world. This microphone is used across the board in a multitude of studios and has a wide range of recording capacity. Now this microphone is excellent for recording both instruments and vocals. The Neumann U87 AI is a cardioid, omnidirectional and figure 8 studio microphone, and it offers a range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, which of course means it's excellent for recording instruments and voices of all timbres. Now it weighs about 500 grams and it's about 20 centimeters in length. So it's actually a really solid microphone. So when we look at the mic face on, we can actually see that most of it is going to hang inside its casing. Now the microphone comes with this fantastically sturdy microphone clip, which of course just bolts into your mic stand there. And literally you just mount the microphone by sliding it into place. It grips the microphone and then it holds it wherever you need it, either upside down or upright. And on a personal note, it's probably one of the most sturdy mic clips I've ever used. So if you know anything about microphones, you would have heard of the Neumann U87 and the U87 AI. The original Neumann U87 was actually released in 1967, and that was available until 1986 when Neumann replaced it with the U87 AI version. Since, Neumann has been omnipresent in studios around the world. These microphones have been used in countless recordings, from pop to jazz, all the way through to rock and roll and heavy metal. And because of their recording patterns, this microphone is fantastic for broadcast. So it's commonly used in podcasting and radio presenting. So it turns out it's a solid multi-purpose microphone. So why is this microphone so renowned and what makes it so popular? The number one thing for me is the way it sounds. This microphone offers fantastic frequency response. So whatever I'm recording, generally speaking, this microphone can get the job done. And yes, it offers flat on frequency responses, but the sound isn't characterless or bland. It's like the microphone has its own personality. The main reason this microphone tends to be so popular is because of its three polar patterns: omni, cardioid and figure 8, as well as the pad and switchable low cut options which give audio engineers flexibility in any recording sessions. Some people say that if you've got like a trained ear, you can actually hear a Neumann U87. Now that doesn't necessarily mean the sound has been altered negatively in any way. It just means that the microphone has a character that certain people can pick up on. Now this microphone, in my opinion, is completely free of distortion and it picks up the human voice perfectly. Like so much so, when some people record on it for the first time, they're almost stunned and surprised to hear like the detail in their breath. I mean, across several sessions, vocalists tend to notice the frequency response that this microphone has, and in my experience, many vocalists across the board tend to favor it. That just tends to be the Neumann sound overall. Neumann do make a large series of microphones. This just so happens to be one of their most popular. So despite being a vocal microphone, the large frequency response allows it to also work very well as a spot microphone. And when used as a spot, the microphone still offers a profound amount of versatility. And in sessions in various studios, I've used this microphone on everything from cellos to overhead drums. So the range really is quite dynamic, and it really is a robust microphone, I must say. That's not to encourage anybody to drop one, but these microphones are made with really robust materials and solidly put together. So generally speaking, most engineers I know that use Neumann use it because of its reliability. Whenever you're using a Neumann microphone, generally speaking, you can expect the same quality on your recordings wherever you're doing them. So if traveling and needing to record on the road, this is one of the best microphones that you can possibly use. Alternatively, if recording in a studio, this is also one of the most suitable microphones for that recording space. It's a fantastic microphone for vocalists, and in my opinion, it really allows the vocalists to hear themselves clearly and therefore translate what they're trying to get out onto their record in a smoother fashion. So, other reasons why people enjoy this microphone, because it really has had a proven 50 years of success in the recording industry. There was a time where this microphone was known for being used in approximately 60% of all top 40 records, which just goes to show you how trusted it really is in the industry. If you go ahead and do your research on this microphone, you're going to find out that it's been responsible for the recording probably of some of your favorite records. Now, something I will say is that this microphone is somewhat dependent on the preamp that you're using. That's not to say that the characteristics still aren't unique, it just suggests that with the right preamp you can get so much more out of your microphone. having the level of frequency response that it has, this microphone really is brilliant for recording all types of audio. However, to ensure the best quality out of this microphone, you will need to consider what preamp you're running it through. I would also recommend when using this microphone to use some light compression on the way in as well. That just makes sure that all of those dynamics in the voice really are captured at their best and maintained throughout the performance. Now, I've used this microphone probably on about 80% of my projects over the last few years, and it really has held its ground on every single one. Most of the time it exceeds my expectations and really complements the voice of whoever's using it. I can only say that it's been used in a range of projects with a range of different voices, and it really does hold its ground. Having been an owner of the Neumann TLM103 as well, which is a slightly smaller Neumann microphone, I can say that this microphone really does have a larger frequency range and a better frequency response. So if you're considering using a microphone on your voice for recordings, this is definitely one of my leading suggestions. Now, the only hang up about this microphone is that it's not necessarily cheap. It comes in at around the £2,000 mark, so it really is a piece of pro equipment. It's not necessarily for engineers or vocalists on a budget, but that being said, it's worth every single penny that you'll pay for it. When it comes to vocal recordings in general, the microphone really is important to the overall quality of that recording. What tends to happen is the cheaper the microphone, the more you have to do in post-production to get it back to a cleaner sound. The idea is that with a more expensive, well-built and therefore higher quality material microphone, you are going to get a higher quality recording and have to do far less in post-production in order to make that vocal or instrument sound like it should sound. So, anyone considering getting a microphone this weekend, definitely something to consider. What I will say is don't necessarily take my word for it. Go and borrow, lease or hire yourself one of these microphones and just put it into play for a week or so and see how it feels. I think that whilst recommendation is certainly something to go off of, I also think a time to review it for yourself and see if it's something that can work for you is probably best. So, thanks for tuning in today, guys. We're going to be back next week with another episode of Tech Corner, but until then, I'm Jay Picasso. Take care.